Hey, good buddy, didn't see you there. Chief's just having a bit of a champagne breakfast. Whoa! Got an eye with that. Hey, champagne on your cereal, breakfast of champions. Thanks for joining me. We've got a fun-packed thing to talk about right now. Let's get to it. Ho ho! That's right, another episode of ArmaGEEKdon dropping right now, right here for you good fine folks that are viewing this. Thanks for supporting the channel. We're seeing the numbers go up big time. It won't be long before we're #1, but you need to help me out there. You can come up here, subscribe, not right here. That's not clickable. I've told you this many times before. Why aren't you listening? The link is down here. Click that to subscribe, get notifications, help the channel grow, leave a comment, give a like, all that jazz. I'm here to listen, but I'm going to do things my own way anyway, no matter what you say. Listen, we've got a great episode for you today. I'm going to be looking at something that was formed part of my childhood growing up, and I've recently got back into it a little bit, and that is the world of trading cards. We're going to have some fun time looking at those. We also need to catch up on what happened in that battle royale. That was Cassia from Mythic Legions taking on the infected Superman, the McFarlane DC character. Oh, Titanic tussle that was. But, oh, and actually, now that I remember it, we've got another little special thing right at the end of the show that I'm going to help you improve your lifestyle, impress your partner with a little trick I've got lined up for you. But right now, let's get those trading cards to the table. Just come down from the loft to get those trading cards to the table, and whoa, look at this. Got a delivery from the postman. I think I know what's inside here. So before we get those to the table, I'm going to actually have a quick look, because this is geek related. This is something that, okay, get in there. Let's have a look, see what we got. So in a brown bag. I can only mean one thing. Comics. Let's see what we got in here. Okay. We have got Strange Adventures #8. That is the Tom King Mitch Gerard series. We've got Snake Eyes Dead Game #4. The final issue of Rick Remender and Greg Tocchini's Low series. I'm rereading this. Fantastic series. The final issue of the Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino Gideon Falls horror comic. I need to reread that. I've got G.I. Joe 278. I'm not even reading this series anymore. So 277, they are going to stay unread for ages. Daredevil 28, the Zdarsky Chichetto series, and 27 and 26. I have not read any of these 28 issues because I'm rereading the Charles Soule run that preceded it. Ascender 11. This is up to number 14, I think, but I missed out 11, so I've got this. I want to give a big shout out to my main man Andy down in Paradox Comics in Poole. What you should do is, if you need comics and you can't get to a local store in the UK, check out this man, Paradox Comics. He'll take care of all your needs. He'll send it out to you. If you're local to the area, he might even do some drop-offs for you. But big shout out to my man. Go look at the website, give the man a call. Now, let's go to the trading cards. Okay, this is what I'm going to bring to the table to start with. It's the Marvel Masterpiece 1992 series. Now, I had been getting trading cards. This might have even been the first one. I was probably with my buddy Ben Flying Retro. We were in Floppy Tongue Comics in Salisbury, and we noticed they had these packs. You know, I had been getting Garbage Pail Kids with the stickers and the bit of gum inside. But in terms of Marvel, I knew they had done a universe. I've got the Marvel Universe series as well. Now, I don't remember which ones I got first, but this was a smaller series. I think there's 90 in the set. So, and this is all art by Joe Jusko. Fantastic. Let's just take a look at some of these. But I think we picked them up. We were looking for comics. We picked them up, opened up a few packets. We were like, holy moly, we are going straight back to that comic shop and buying more. We must have spent hundreds of pounds on these. Can't remember how much they were, but you know, this lovely Joe Jusko art, all these images. I think what I'll do is let's get a close-up on all these, just so we can, you know, go through some of them. But these guys are fantastic. You get the bios on the back as well. But yeah, these, look at, oh man, these are bringing back so many memories. Checklist, I got one chase card, and then we go on to 1993 series. But I'll tell you what, let's get some close-ups on these, see what we think. Okay, taking a closer look at the images now. They go in alphabetical order, so you can see they're kind of got a tiny framed border, the name of the character, 1992 Marvel Masterpieces on the bottom, all Joe Jusko signature. Let's get cracking. First one up, the Blob. Look at this gelatinous mass of blubber. Looks crazed, like a maniac. Look at that face. As an image goes, it's quite dynamic. Someone shot some kind of ball at his gut and it has absorbed all that. X-Men villain, I think, the Blob. Used to hang around with Cassidy, did he? Don't know. Black Tom Cassidy? No, don't know. He was part of a different group. But yeah, I mean, the image is not too bad. Not too many colours there, so it's not super popping. But look at the facial expression, fantastic. Then we got Johnny Blaze, or just Blaze. So I'm not fully up on my Ghost Rider, but I don't know if this was a character he had given up being Ghost Rider, and he was just Blaze, like a vigilante. That's what it looks like to me. Typical 90s trope here: big gun, sunglasses, cigarette, motorbike. You know, it's doesn't strike me as a superhero pose. It could just be anything from an action movie or something. We've got the Black Widow in the classic grey costume. I kind of know this from her Avengers and Daredevil time on a cityscape there, just kind of looking around. It's an okay image. I wouldn't say these are three of the best ones that we've got on display. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, Black Panther. Jumping through the forest, this kind of green background. Yeah, it's an okay kind of dynamic-ish pose. It's kind of Kirby-esque, I think, from some of the early appearances of how the character was drawn. And we've got the Black Cat, kind of a bit over-sexualized here, I think. We can all agree. Night scene, but, you know, it's a fine image, I suppose. And then we've got Bishop, one of my favourite X-Men. Need to get back into reading some Bishop-based comics, but look at this dynamism here. The energy behind him, one leg in, one leg out, so it's almost like a portal that maybe he's coming out of, which is kind of cool. Charging up his left fist, you know, great image. That really like that one. Well done, Joe. Moving on, we've got Beast, just kind of leaping around, probably in the danger room, kind of a standardized Beast pose, I suppose, looking pretty fearsome and furry. Archangel. So this is when Warren Worthington, the third Angel, had his feathered wings stripped from him. I forget who that was. Was that Mr. Sinister? Or was that... don't know. Can't remember, actually. Can't remember. Was it Apocalypse? No, it was Apocalypse. Surely it was Apocalypse. Yes, of course. Some sort of glowing energy around the wings. Little plane in the background. Yeah. You know, I used to love this character, actually. Him and Bobby Drake, Iceman, were two of my favourites in the 90s. You know, not so fussed on him now. Then we move across to the big man himself, Apocalypse. Look at this. He's got some kind of energy. He's got a mace as well. I never spotted that before. In the bottom corner, he's got some kind of mace to smash your face in with. And look at the grimace there. Arrgh, he means business. Crackling lightning in the background. Very good. Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch. Recently reacquainted with this character maybe 10 years ago from Dan Abnett's Guardians of the Galaxy series, which I'm going to do a reread of soon. And when I do that reread, I might even share my thoughts on it on the show. So yeah, he's out in space here, asteroids flying around. That's a great image. I like that. Love the colours on Adam Warlock. Darkhawk, another 90s invention. Some sort of street kid vigilante type who gets a crystal and turns into one of these Darkhawk things. It's an alright pose. And then Daredevil. Always like Daredevil stories in the snow. Always kind of captures something good about the character. You know, I love it. The smoke coming off the chimney. Good image. Nothing of these so far has blown me away. And now we see the Cyclops one. Look at that. I mean, he is
I'm not sure if he's as muscled as that in, I was going to say in real life, but of course the guy's not real. But look at the optic blast, the face, the mouth. I mean, that's a great dynamic shot there. And then Colossus busting down a door. I used to be a big fan of Colossus, and Captain Britain standing tall. Look at that. He would give Captain America a run for his money in the steroid stakes. I mean, clearly that has been referenced from a bodybuilder, but yeah, like Captain Britain. Captain America with the eagle behind him. Look at that eagle. Great detail there. Love that. Cage. Is that Luke Cage? Power Man fame? Again, image of the, I was going to say bland, but it's not. Look at the perspective of the wall coming down. Fantastic image, but just a bit bland on the main figure there. Would rather have had him in his Power Man guise, I think. Cable, everyone's favourite 90s techno organic virus wielding man from the future who is spun up in loads of time, space displacement issues, and lots of bags. Look at the muscles on his arm. They're muscles that don't even exist in the human anatomy. Big guns. Yeah, like Cable. Could have done a better image of him there, though. Bullseye, that is a fantastic shot. I mean, silhouetted guy who's just had his brains blown out in the background. Bullseye laughing maniacally. You know, great character. Love Bullseye. Dazzler, much underappreciated 90s. Well, no, she was before the 90s. I think before my time, in fact, when I started reading X-Men, like 91, she was already on the scene. But yeah, you know, that's not a bad image. Enchantress, oh, living the life of luxury here. Planets in the background, grapes, fruit, some kind of leopard skin rug. She's just waiting for her next victim. Let's move on. Elektra, okay. You know, paired up with Daredevil most of the time you see Elektra. The image is okay. He's not doing anything for me. Looks like she's not holding her side properly in her hand. One of my favourites here as a kid in this series. Look at this Electro image. Maybe too muscled, I think, but just the way he's kind of, the composition of where he's looking and the lightning in the background, fantastic. And then another great one, the Doctor Strange image, where he's got the crystal ball almost, and it's being held by some kind of clawed hand. The lighting there's fantastic, and the expression on Strange's face, shit's going down, and he has got to step up to the plate. Okay, Dr. Ock, great image here. You know, one of the Sinister Six Spider-Man foes, arms coming towards the screen, good one. Doctor Doom's in some kind of shuttle here. This is kind of, again, a bit Kirby-esque, I think, in the design here. Again, looking pretty ferocious. Doom, and he's about to unleash some plan. Dormammu, yes. Again, another villain, just hand in the air, wielding, I have the power kind of image. Kind of spidery things coming down the sky, the ceiling there, like that one. Deathlock, again, like this character, very 90s, gun-wielding maniac. Gambit, was a big fan of this guy back in the day. Quite a nice one here, but another close-up image. Smoking a cigarette, you won't get that today, boys and girls, in Marvel Comics. Galactus, difficult to portray the size of this guy, but they've kind of done it well. You've got some sort of aliens in the foreground at his feet as he's demolishing this world, this planet, to feed his sustenance. Human Torch, this was one of my favourite images from this line as a kid. Don't need to overthink the Human Torch. You just need reds, oranges, yellows, and then this stark black background. You know, tells you all you need to know. Fantastic. And then the Hulk. Look at this. I mean, this is where you want your over muscle bound kind of guys. And look at this. Look at this image. How it's framed. You've got the, you know, Bruce Banner down in between the Hulk's feet, having just been the victim of the gamma explosion that turned him into the Green Goliath. I think this could be the next one of my favourites, this Hobgoblin from this series, top 5 definitely. I mean, that is a frightening image. He's holding that pumpkin bomb, the mouth, the clawed hands, the ragged cloak. That's just a fantastic image, really digging that one. Hawkeye, was never a Hawkeye fan. I did enjoy the Matt Fraction, David Aja series, or Aja, I forget how you pronounce his surname, but from a few years back. But this incarnation we're looking at here, nah, it doesn't do it for me. Havoc, Cyclops' brother, Alex Summers. This is a great image. I forget what his powers are, but it seems to be he's letting them go here, and the colour here, the whites really bring out this image. Fantastic. Another maniacal villain, which seems to be a theme of this set, Green Goblin. Was never over fussed on this character in the comics that I read. I was never a big Spider-Man fan anyway, but you know, that's a good image. It's a good image. It kind of portrays the character very well. Ghost Rider. I'd like to get into some Ghost Rider comics, so if anyone's got any recommendations for me, leave it in the comments below and I'll check them out. But you know, how can you not like this imagery here on Ghost Rider? The bike, the big flail that's kind of gone around his back and then into the foreground. Just the fire and brimstone. Love it. Iron Man is repulsor action going off. I much prefer these older Iron Man suits than the modern junk you see in the movies. This kind of classic design is where my Iron Man's at. Invisible Woman, yeah, nice. Just kind of, I think you have to portray half of her going invisible at least if you're going to draw a picture of her. So, and then she's doing some kind of mind bubbles out of her head. Don't know what that's all about. Iceman, building one of these ice ramp things, which you saw a lot in. Remember that show, Spider-Man is Amazing Friends with Firestar and Iceman? Used to get Iceman doing these ice slides in that a lot. Lizard, again, Spider-Man villain, so I'm not over fussed on him. I mean, Spider-Man's got a good rogues gallery, but the original design, look, it's just this incredible Hulk purple pants, white lab coat. I mean, the image is good, but the character design is okay, fine. Then we've got the leader, which is a Hulk villain, just a guy with a massive gamma irradiated brain. Look at that guy, looks like a butt cheek on his face, on his head. Frightening indeed. Kingpin. Not my favourite image of the Kingpin here. He's kind of at his desk. He's got his trademark cane with his jewel on top. The cityscape in the background. It's okay. Kang. Big fan of this guy. Time travelling. He's got loads of different guises. I can't even think of Ramesses or King Tut or something like that. And then other incarnations of him through time. The image is okay. Nothing special. Juggernaut. Just kind of standing there like a chump. Kane Marco, Professor X's stepbrother. Jean Grey, weird pose here from the waist down. What's she doing? She's kind of like almost doing ballet. Not really digging that one. Mandarin, love that cloak he's got on. It's kind of, this guy reminds me of, and obviously the movie was probably inspired by not necessarily this character, but this kind of ilk of character from Pulp Fiction. Not the movie Pulp Fiction, but from the pulpy noir 40s and 50s. But what I'm talking about is Big Trouble in Little China. Lao Pan, I think, reminds me when I see the Mandarin here. It's great. Major Victory. This guy is from, I think, Jim Valentino's Guardians of the Galaxy run in the 90s. I could be wrong, but I think it's a future guy who's found Captain America's shield. Not too familiar with the character. Image is so there. Magneto, showing what he can do. I'd rather, look, he's throwing wrenches and hammers and door knockers. So I think they could have made a better choice of instruments for him to flinging around. Nice to see him using his powers though. And then we come to possibly one of my top 3 favourite from this series. Look at this Loki image. He is up to no good. The mischief trickster god. I mean, that is fan-freaking-tastic. Love that Loki. That's how I want my Loki to be. Moon Knight, one of my favourite characters. Got all of his issues, especially digging the 90s comic run by Chuck Dixon. Ron Garney doing some early work there as well. And it launched Stephen Platt's career, who went on to Image Comics. But yeah, that image is so. I mean, look, Moon Knight is a poor man's Batman, I guess, dressed in white. But I like the guy. Mole Man, good image. This Fantastic Four villain, bit bland, you might say at first. He's just a fat old pudgy guy who lives under the ground and has these moloids running around with him. But I have read a few good stories with him in, but this image is pretty cool. Mojo. Another good image there. X-Men villain who lives in some strange outer space world, Mojo world, I think it is, where he just tinkers with and playthings and transforms people. Mephisto, yeah, nice. The devil, here he is. You don't need too many colours with this guy, and Joe has framed this beautifully with the smoke. He's just kind of appeared, about to trade for someone's soul, no doubt. Megan, she was part of Excalibur. Not read too many Excalibur comics, so don't know too much about her. Is she some kind of fairy or pixie or elf kind of thing? Don't know. Stonehenge in the background. Namorita, she is the cousin of Namor, Submariner, I think. Don't know too much about her. Just looks like Joe has taken some sort of swimsuit model and reskinned her for Namorita. Not too fussed about that one. And you got Namor flexing, about to try and get Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, to leave Reed Richards, no doubt, as he does. What a scumbag Namor is. Pretty powerful though, I think. Mr. Sinister, classic X-Men villain. Just kind of standing there, nothing over special about that. Reed Richards, some sort of device in his workshop. Again, that could be a panel out of a comic book page. So you want something a bit extra special when you get in these trading cards, almost like pin-up shots. Morbius, the Living Vampire. Has he got a TV show coming out soon or something like that? Not sure. Don't know too much about him. He goes in those circles with kind of Blade and Ghost Rider and those other guys. I forget what they were called. Marvel had a line for them. Don't know, Night Stalkers and things like that. I don't know, but he's part of that crew. Not really read too much around that guy. Nightmare. This guy, who's he the main nemesis for? Doctor Strange. Yeah. It's not a bad image. I kind of like the floating steps in the background, just weirdness going on. Nightcrawler's just bamfed into your face, kind of jumping at the page. That's a good one. Yeah, like Nightcrawler. Night Thrasher, he was part of the New Warriors, which were the young guns. They formed a team, kind of like teens. I think I've got most of the New Warriors comics, but I don't know if I've ever read them. I'm talking about the 90s ones. He's quite cool though. Nick Fury, one of my favourite characters. Great. Look at that Stoogie smoking there. Pistola, eye patch. Fantastic image there from Joe. Love it. Psylocke, bit over-sexualised, but that was par for the course in the 90s, in the early 90s. Nice to see her with her blades out, because a lot of time you see her with a psychic knife, kind of a short purple thing protruding from her hand, but nice to see her actually wielding some physical weapons. The Prof, there he is, Prof X, in his chair. Pretty boring image, we'll all agree. The Phoenix, this is not Jean Grey, this is her daughter from a future, maybe, and her name is forgotten, but I think she was in Excalibur, but, it's an alright image. Nova, again, he was part of the New Warriors, just blasting off into space, it's alright, I suppose. North Star was, I think, the first openly gay character that Marvel created, or at least came out in the comics. I think it was issue 106 maybe of Alpha Flight, can't remember, but North Star, yeah, a good character. I like him, and I like the whole of that Alpha Flight team. Image is a bit bland though. Nomad, he, I believe, took on the mantle of Captain America at one point in time, then went solo as kind of a vigilante. It's kind of a lone wolf and cub story where he had this kid he was carrying around with him. Image is okay. Quicksilver, he's a fast dude. Magneto's kid. Would have liked to see more stuff whipping up from his trails rather than just a couple of cans of pop and a bit of a leaflet. Quasar, looks like some sort of cheesy space Superman. Don't know much about that guy. The Punisher, just shooting guns. One arm just kind of on a window ledge. Not Punisher's okay. I struggle to find his place in the Marvel Universe, because why aren't all the heroes just hunting him down and locking him up? I don't get it. That image is okay. Shatterstar, used to love this guy. 90s X-Force, was hinted, I believe. No, sorry, that was someone else. Adam X the Extreme, I was going to say, was hinted at being the third Summers brother. But Shatterstar basically is just a warrior who loves fighting. Good image, I like that one. Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde, is coming through a wall. I'd like to have seen more in this image of her intangibility skills, and would like to have seen her in a better costume than that. Just a bit boring. Sauron, I believe he is a man who changes, Carl Lycos, who changes into this thing, has to suck blood or drink blood to stay alive or something. Not sure. just looks like a giant pterodactyl man to me. Sandman, he is on the beach. Bit on point there, bit on the nose there, Joe. Could have had a better setting for him, although, you know, it's a good image. Sabretooth, obviously we all know him as Wolverine's nemesis, and he is on a rock, big moon in the background, kind of a classic looking pose there for Sabretooth, about to mash someone up. Rogue, oh look, I actually have put them out of I've not put them in alphabetical order. I've only just realised that as we get to the very end. Rogue, classic look there in her classic costume with the jacket. It's not a bad image. She's just, you know, flying along. Red Skull, like this one. Again, look, he's got this cigarette with the filter. Love it. Castle in the background. The villains make much the better images. You know, that is definitely a fact. Silver Sable, she is part of a bounty hunting crew. Quite like that one. Quite like that image, yeah. And like to read some more Silver Sable comics. You got any? Let me know. Silver Surfer flying through the spaceways. Pretty bland image. Board looks massive, oversized. Sleepwalker, 90s invention. I like this guy. When a guy would fall asleep, the sleepwalker would come out of his head into reality to stop crime. Weird. Speedball, another new warrior. Had the ability to bounce around, I think. Yeah. I mean, not much going on there. Spider-Man, again, I've tried Spider-Man comics many times, I just can't get on with them. However, I think Spider-Man in certain pin-ups looks fantastic. A great looking character. I've just never got on with the actual character himself, but very Todd McFarlane-esque, that pose and that imagery there. Storm, you know, she's had great character. All of her looks have been great as well. She's just rocking up on the beach here. Strong guy. He is a strong guy and he's bending this thing. He has got traps to die for. Look at the size of them. Super Skrull, all the powers of the Fantastic Four. I mean, displaying them all there, I think. Is he? Mr. Fantastic, Ben Grimm. Oh yeah, the flaming hand is Ben Grimm's hand. Human Torch, then the Invisible Woman's leg. Thanos looks like he's dropped a ball. Again, I'm not a massive Thanos fan. That imagery is okay, it's fine. She-Hulk sitting on some giant Doctor Doom faceplate. Yeah, not really down with that one. Like this thing one. Didn't like it as a kid because I was like, what's going on? But just a massive close-up of his face, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing, and really digging that one. Thor flying over the Rainbow Bifrost Bridge. Yeah, pretty basic. I like that Wonder Man one because he is a cocky, arrogant sumbitch, and he's got this trophy that he's won on the bicep. So I like that one a lot, actually. Wolverine. This is a wild man phased Wolverine stalking through the jungle, probably looking for Sabretooth. White Queen, bit over-sexualized, but that is her character, so I don't mind it when it's part of that character's persona, so that's fine. Weapon Omega, he was part of Alpha Flight. Don't know much about him. Was he Wild Child? Not sure. Might need to look that up. Venom. Just Joe got bored of drawing backgrounds by this time. Just over bulked on that Venom. Ultron. Okay, fine. Again, just standardish kind of pose there. It's fine. I do like this Tombstone one. Again, the close-ups are where Joe is shining, I think. Like the Loki one, the Hobgoblin, the Thing one. Look at the, you know, he doesn't have that skull for an eye, but that's just symbolic. Love that shot there. Then we've got to look at one side of the checklist, and then I had a one chase card, which is Wolverine versus Sabretooth, and like the claws and some of the hair and stuff is actually metallic, kind of etched foil stuff. So that's really nice. Cool. Well, there's a look at the 1992 Marvel Masterpiece series. If people enjoy it, let's crack out the 1993 one next. Mixture of artists on that one. So that'll be interesting to see how we break that down. But thanks for looking at that. Right now, though, we've got to go over to see our man on the ground with the cameras delicately placed because he managed to snap some great footage. And it's last week's Battle Royale took place. It was Cassia from Mythic Legions versus DC's Infected Superman from McFarlane.
Hey, you fancy going down to the local bar, getting a couple of jars, tying one off? What do you say, babe? No one calls me babe. Ha ha, a fine specimen. Oh, I think it's about to go down right now. I shall make you my woman. Nobody makes me their woman. Ha ha ha! Battle it is. Prepare yourself. I'm just gonna sit right down over here. Hey, ever tell about that time I threw 20 jaws off a sandcrawler? Good times. I am ready for battle. Ah, yes, woman. Yes, bring it. Hi, chunk. Nothing. And now prepare for super breath. Ha ha ha. Well, you sure showed her who's boss. Yes, my good fellow, and now I shall make her mine. You ain't making nothing. Hi, boom. Oh. And now let's make sure there are no more super babies. Ooh. Superman is defeated. Every day, I have people coming up to me telling me they want to wear the kind of clothes that I wear. They want to grow their hair like me. And more than anything, they want to know how to make 2-minute hummus. Well, tell you what, today I'm going to show you how. Okay, you want to make a nice hummus? Here's what you do. You get some condiments. You get some garlic. You can either chop your own or you can use this in the tube. You need a lemon or some lemon juice in a bottle. You need some olive oil. You need some creme fraiche, but if you're a vegan, then you want some cream like this. You need some kind of mini chopper. Okay, let's get going. And of course, you will need some chickpeas. Here we go, let's start the clock. Chickpeas in there, boom. Let's get a good glug of olive oil. Get that in there. You can always add a bit more if you want to mix up your consistency. Let's get a bit of cream in there. Let's go. Pepper. Salt. Chili. Very good. Good squeeze. Garlic. I like my garlic. Lemon. Boom. Lemon juice in. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little small bit of Nando's sauce there. Let's put the lid on. Let's get that. Let's go. Blend. Quick check. Looking good. This will just depend on how fine you like your hummus. That's how I like it. A little bit chunky. And we're done. Okay, here we go. We've got a nice sesame toasted bun. We've got some cheese. I put some of this lovely hummus in there. We've got a lovely burger. I've got some chili roasted parsnips. Everything's coming up, Chief.
What a wild episode we've had today, people. I think you can agree that this is a fun-packed show, a lot of stuff going on. Chief is up here losing his mind with craziness in this lockdown. But listen, there'll be more stuff coming next week. In fact, coming up in a few days, I've got a special guest popping in to Castle Chief via the interwebs. We're going to be looking through that man's toy table, can you believe? Stay tuned, it's a guy you know and love. But that is it from the Castle ArmaGEEKdon. This is the Chief signing off, saying have a good one, people. Take care.